3, 2, 1. It's go time. Welcome to the show. It's go time. This is the ultimate podcast for salespeople, sales managers, and entrepreneurs who are in the trenches, who are looking to increase their income, have more confidence, and just have a better experience in the sales and entrepreneurship arena. And I'm your host, Pat Holder. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are towards the end of our $1 Million Sales Habits series. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about consistency. Consistency is one of the most powerful forces in your life. So we're going to be talking about that today. Okay, like every episode, we go to a quote from a book. Today's book is one of my favorite guys to listen to, Jocko Willink. This book is called Discipline Equals Freedom. This is on page 64 and 65, and it's labeled Every Day. This isn't a part-time gig. This isn't a punch the clock and go home for the day. You don't get weekends off. No, there's no such thing as weekend. This is an everyday gig. Every day is a Monday, and you might not like that. Me, I love it. To me, every day is a beginning, a new day, a new week, a new shot at life, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. I love that quote. Because we think, we got 5 days on, 2 days off or whatever. No, we're living our life. And consistency is super important. Now, do we have to be in the trenches 7 days a week? No. Like study after study says, hey, we do need rest and recovery. And I heard just recently that, hey, that rest and recovery and time off is a move. And that really got me excited because I always thought it was go, 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 go. But I love that quote. Thank you, Jocko. All right, so today we're going to be talking about consistency. And one of the definitions that I like about consistency is acting or done the same way over time. Doing something the same way over time. And there's just so much power to consistency, right? So much power and consistency, and we're going to unpack that today. Okay, we're just going to jump right into it. Number one, you must be consistent, okay, in your production power schedule. Okay, a few episodes ago, we talked about our production power schedule. Basically, what that is, hey, what schedule can you commit to or that you set, right, that when acted upon consistently will guarantee success, okay? And how can you stick to that schedule regardless of outside distractions, okay? So you must be consistent with your schedule. And again, especially if you're in straight commission sales, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, but there's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of freedom with that, and we get drawn out if we're not set in stone with our schedule that, hey, we're going to do this, okay? The main thing is like, hey, it's unplanned things, okay? If you got something planned in your production power schedule, fantastic. But it's the unplanned things that take us away from our consistency and from our targets. So you must remain consistent on your production power schedule, right? That's foundational to your success. If you're not experiencing the success you want, you need to look at your schedule and really how flexible you've been and what you've been putting in front of that. All right, I can speak to that so honestly because, oh my gosh, I used to put so many things in front of going out there and getting after it. Okay. Oh, I got to do this before I do that. I got to do this before. I got to do this because it's a, 1 in a month opportunity or 1 in a year opportunity. No. Hey, if it's on your production power schedule, right, you must attack. Okay. So production power schedule, that's foundational to your success. Okay. And if you get off track, no big deal. You're a human being. All right. We all get off track and you need to give yourself some grace, but you need to get back on track ASAP and start building momentum. What do they say? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just because you get off track your production's power schedule doesn't mean you can't just jump right back into it real soon. Okay, so don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and just jump right back into it. So be consistent with your production power schedule. Okay, that's number one. Number two is be consistent with increasing your net worth. Okay, be consistent with increasing your net worth. We must have some sort of savings or storage money strategy. We must have a savings money strategy. We must have a savings strategy. Okay, now before I lose you and you say, oh, I'm not a saver. Okay. I can't save money. I've never been a real saver. Before you start telling yourself that, that's not real. Okay. That may be your old identity, right? Maybe if you look back in your entire life and that you haven't been able to do it up into this point, that's okay. Okay. Because it's all about just making a real decision. You may be telling yourself right now, I can't save $5,000. I can't save 10,000. I can't save 20. I can't save 50. I can't save 100,000 bones. I can't save 1,000,000. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. It's not real. That's just the story that we tell ourselves, right? Because we're looking in the past. We need to look to the future on what you actually can do, and you need to put your focus there, okay? So the only reasons that you and I are not saving or storing money at the rate that we want are just a few different reasons. One is that you're not focused on increasing your income. Have we talked about increasing your income on this podcast? I think every episode we talk about that because it's important. Okay, it's important. So number one reason that we're not saving or storing at the rate that we want or at all is because you're not focused on increasing your income. Okay, we need to increase our income. Do you need to spend a little bit of time on saving some money? Absolutely. Like saving money, cut down on bills, cut down on this, like keep track of this so we can get that down. Sure, you want to spend a little bit of time on that, but not much. Okay, but you want to spend an inordinate amount of time on increasing your income. Okay, because everything else, when you increase your income, everything else in your personal economy gets cheaper. Think about it. So number one reason we don't save is that we're not focused on increasing our income. Okay. Number two is that you're in a neutral or a deficit savings strategy. Okay. What do I mean by that? Straight out of the book, Millionaire Next Door. Fantastic book. Very basic, right? But there's basically 3 different levels. But if you're not saving money or storing money at the rate you want, it's because we're at a neutral saving strategy, meaning that I earn $2,000 this week and then I spend $2,000 this week. I earn $100 and it's already accounted for. It's already gone. That's a neutral. Now, a deficit, which a lot of Americans are in, I think it's 50% or more, is a deficit strategy is that you earn $2,000, but then you spend $2,200. Right? Because of credit. Getting credit is the easiest, or credit cards, is the easiest thing to get these days, right? Why? Because it's like 28% interest. Very easy. If you're anything like me, you're getting 1,000 credit card advertisements in the mail every single day. It's like, here you go, here you go, here you go. So one of the biggest reasons that you and I are not saving the way we want to is because we're in a neutral saving strategy, or then we're in a deficit saving strategy, right? Everything that comes in goes out, or we're spending more than what comes in. Okay, easy way to fix that is increase your income, but we must make a decision to change that now. It's like, man, I just keep getting to this point, 10,000 or 5,000 or 2,000. Right? In your savings or storage, and you just can't break through the wall. Well, that's because you're operating in a neutral or a deficit saving strategy. It's not like you're consciously saying, hey, I want to spend everything I get. Okay. Maybe in college, that's the play, right? But outside that, it's time to put our big boy pants on and big girl pants on and start taking this thing seriously, right? So number one is that we're not focused on increasing our income. Number two is that we're in a neutral or a deficit saving strategy situation, right? And number three is that we don't have a true target that we're actually chasing or committed to or focused on. If we are increasing our income and we have a surplus saving strategy and we're focused on a target, right? Okay, I just want to get to 20 grand right now. The next 20 grand, the next 50, the next 100, or the first 1,000, whatever it is for you. If you're focused on increasing your income, if you're focused on having a surplus strategy, meaning you're saving more than you're earning, and you're focused on a target, well, boom, there you go. You're going to be saving at a rate that you probably never have before. It's not you. Okay. Focus a little bit more on increasing our income. Focus a little bit more on having a more of a surplus saving strategy. Okay. You make 1,100, you stack 100. Okay. That's a good starting point. You don't have to start going crazy right now, but that's a starting point. And you must set some sort of target, even if you don't believe in it, even if you've never been there before in your life, you can do it. So you must have a plan. Okay. You must make a plan. It doesn't have to be a perfect plan. It doesn't have to be a 20-page plan or anything like that. You just have to have some sort of plan. All right. So spend some time and think. put your damn phone down, put your damn remote down, and spend some time and think about this, okay? Because the only thing, as far as money goes, that's gonna go with you into the future is what you store, what you save, and what you invest, and what you keep. So we must spend a little bit of time on getting that up. So an easy way to do that is you want to increase your savings by not increasing your spending. So as you increase your income, do not increase your spending. If you go from $1,000 a week to $2,000 a week and you're spending $1,000 a week and then you go spending $2,000 a week, you are still in a neutral strategy. You're not storing anything for the future. Okay, so as you increase your income, as you upgrade your skills, right, as you get more consistent, okay, as you're increasing all this, do not increase your spending. Do not go get that new car. Do not worry about showboating for people because people actually don't give a rat's patoot about what you have. Okay, stay in the clunker for now. Increase your income, stay in the clunker until the clunker dies. Talking about your car. Just because you increase your income does not mean you should increase your car. Not yet. Now's not the time. So as you increase your income, do not increase your spending, okay? That will create a gap right there, and that gap, you store everything, okay? So that's number 2, is be consistent and have some sort of strategy that you can stick to. If you get off track, just get back on as quickly as you can. And then number 3 is consistency and exercise. Whoa, I thought we were talking about sales and increasing income here. Yes, we are. And having a consistent exercise schedule will do that for you, I promise. All the greats, right, that I want to emulate have some sort of exercise routine. And I suggest you do too. Oh, I don't like going to the gym. I don't have time for all this. Stuff your salaries in a sack and get some sort of consistent exercise schedule for you. It'll make you feel better. It'll help you live longer. And guess what? It'll help you increase your sales. Okay. Because when you start having confidence in your personal life, it'll show up in your business life. When you have more confidence in your business life, you're going to have more confidence in your personal life. Okay. So let's get to it. So The Rock, I heard him say this one time, was, don't quote me on this, but he said something about that his morning workout is really where he gets the juice and fire for his day. When he pounds out a workout and he goes the extra mile, especially when he doesn't feel like it, that sets the tone for the rest of the day to go extra during his day. Now, as you get consistent with your exercise, you're going to start seeing that the principles of sales and the principles of entrepreneurship are absolutely identical to the principles of exercise. It's very, very awesome to see that. So, by going extra in the gym, right, you're increasing your size, right? You're increasing or decreasing, whatever you're trying to do, right? Because you can manipulate your body based on the type of exercises and diet and stuff, whatever you want to do. Same thing in business. Whatever your inputs are strategically, you can change your business. Same thing in your body. So by going extra in the gym, you can increase your strength. You can manipulate your size and definitely increases your confidence. Who doesn't want that? Now in sales, by going extra in sales, it's definitely going to be increasing your strength, increasing your courage, increasing your confidence, and by default, it's going to be increasing your income. Okay. What's cool about consistency is consistency begets consistency, meaning that consistency leads and feeds into more consistency, right? I told my coach about a year and a half ago, I forgot exactly what we were talking about, but it required me to be consistent in a particular area of my life that I was not consistent in. And I'm like, man, I'm just not that consistent. I don't think I can be consistent because I've never been consistent, right? And he's like, whoa, shut up. That's not true. You've been consistent in all kinds of things. Take note of what you've been consistent in. And I'm like, oh, wow, I have been consistent in some things, but you can be consistent in whatever you put your mind to. Okay. But consistency begets consistency, right? The reason why you're not consistent in whatever you want to do is because it's not a habit right now. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, $1 million sales habits. And consistency is a habit, okay? And it's not about being perfect. You're not going to jump into an exercise routine and then it's going to stick like glue and you're going to be perfect from day one. Hell no. Like that's a ridiculous expectation. And you're not going to be perfect in sales the first time. You're not going to be perfect on the first date the first time. You're not going to be perfect in marriage, on day one. But it's just about building that habit of being consistent, all right, and doing your thing. So consistency feeds into consistency, and especially when you start seeing results. Okay. At the gym, it's a fantastic addiction when you start seeing great results. In sales, when you're consistent, you start seeing better results. Fantastic addiction to have. Okay. Addiction ain't bad. On productive things, it's great. And especially, it starts feeding and stacking into each other, especially when it starts becoming a habit. Okay, just think back on anything in your life that you were once not consistent on, and now it's a part of your life and you just do it automatically. So, because consistency is a habit. If you haven't gone to the gym very much before in your life, you need to get over the fact that you're going to get sore. Being sore is a fantastic thing. That means you're growing. Now, if you're in sales, you need to get past the uncomfortability. I need to get past the uncomfortability, right? Some days, especially on Monday, it's very uncomfortable to go out there and do the thing we do. But you and we need to get over the income ebbs and flows. Okay, we need to get over the rejection. Okay, we need to get over that this might be something brand new that we're starting and we don't really know how, and it's uncomfortable and might be weird. Dude, I think every single sales presentation I had for my first 50 were awkward as hell. All right, we just got to get over that because it's not going to be awkward as hell forever if we're consistent. Right? If we're consistently learning, if we're consistently getting better, if we're consistently getting after it. So I got an example of a teammate of mine, one of my best friends in life for the last 12 years. About 2 years ago, he started going, and he started on bench press with the bar and 10 pounds on each side. All right. So that's 65 pounds total. He's bench pressing. And he's like, man, this is embarrassing. He's like, look, man, that girl, I'm 6'1", she's 5 foot. She's benching more than me. I'm like, hey, man, it doesn't matter where you're at. It's where you're going. Hey, you're here right now. You're not going to be at this weight very long. Right? So if you're in sales right now and you might feel embarrassed about your numbers, you might feel embarrassed about your production or what have you, that's just where you're at right now. Don't worry about that. All right. When you remain consistent over a long period of time, guess what happens to your business? So that was number 3, exercise. Be consistent in your exercise. Number 4 is consistently study and consistently read. Okay. Consistently study your game. Consistently study the greats that are around you or just the greats in general, right? The Zig Ziglars, the Ed Miletts, right? The Bob Proctors, right? The Brian Tracys, right? The list goes on and on and on of the greats, right? And all you have to do is find them on social media. Find them on social media, Google them, study them. Where did they start? What was their path? What were their struggles? How did they do it? Because what you're going to find is that you and me and them, we have a lot more in common than we care to admit. Okay, it's very, very interesting. So consistently study your game. Consistently study what happens out in the field and keep getting better and better information and data that you gather from the field, right? Consistently study your game. Now, the other thing is consistently read. Got a lot of people out there, right? I hear it all the time. It comes out of my mouth sometimes. It's like, oh, I'm not a reader. I don't like to read. Well, I'm pretty sure I got ADHD or whatever it's called because I stare at a page sometimes and I'll stare at the page for 5 minutes, but it feels like 2 seconds, right? And I'm staring at the same words, right? And then I come back to, but I still stick with it. And I'm like, okay, let me go back and figure out what I just tried to read there. And I still crank out books. Not as fast as I want, but I'm more consistent, and you just get faster and faster and you comprehend more. Okay. So whatever excuse you're telling yourself of why you're not a reader, you need to throw that in the garbage. Okay. Because let's address the elephant in the room. Reading's uncomfortable. We don't get immediate gratification from that. And here's the thing is reading is not that sexy. For whatever reason, out on planet Earth, reading's not that sexy, but it's a superpower, right? When you're consistent in reading. There's a few positives that happen, right? And there's just a few, is that it calms your mind, right? For me, it'll put you in a meditative state. You're focusing on positive things and your brain's translating it onto how it will help you and in your life and in your business. It unlocks creativity. It upgrades your mind. And when you upgrade your mind, you upgrade your life. When you upgrade your mind, you upgrade your life. And then also by reading books about a particular topic you want, whether it's sales, entrepreneurship, whether it's dating, whether it's exercise, whether it's investing, right? The list goes on and on and on. Whatever you want to learn, there's books out there and there's multiple authors, and all you got to do is find one that hits you in the right way. But the other thing it does is, that you're the sum of the top 5 people that you're around, the associations. By reading books, you are now putting that person into your association, especially if you're reading a bunch of their books or listening to their stuff or what have you. They are now probably one of your top 5 associations. right? And so you're most like the top 5 of your associations, right? Of their income and how they think and all that stuff. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So books will do that for you. So the other thing is that reading is not a priority for you. It's not a habit. Okay. And we need to be consistent at this to start building that habit. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. I had a teammate over here. He picked up a book and he put it down within 30 seconds. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's just uncomfortable. And that's how I was. And that's how I am sometimes too. And then I pick up a book and then my phone appears in my hand 2 seconds later. Stick with it, consistently read. It becomes a habit and it becomes easier and easier and easier. The cool thing about reading books is that people put in their life's work into pages that you can read and download. Oftentimes 10, 20, or 30 years of their life's work into a particular topic that you can download into your mind just by reading it, and you can study it. And when you read a book, you should study it. Okay, just like high school, just like college, just like middle school, and all the things we were forced to do, we had to study it and learn the material. Do that, but do it for yourself. Do that, but do that for your future and watch what happens. Mark it up, dog-ear the pages, come back and use them as reference books. If it's a good book, you need to read it again. You need to come back, crack it open, just read some quotes or whatever. And use books as a reference manual for you, your future, your business, and watch what happens to your business and your life. Number 5 is how you show up. Okay. Isn't it interesting that when the things are going good in our life, that how we show up is just easy? We show up with a smile on our face. We show up with enthusiasm, right? We show up with confidence. Oh, when things are good. That's not what we're talking about. Okay. We're talking about when setbacks hit, when the adversity comes, when unseen and unforeseen challenges hit, and they come in all different forms, all different shapes, all different sizes, and they seem to all hit around the same time. When it rains, it pours, and that's okay. But how you show up in that moment is super, super important. Showing up at a high level can and will be a challenge. Okay, especially when setbacks, adversity, and unforeseen challenges hit. But here's the important piece, is our prospects, especially if you're in direct sales, our prospects, that person that we're meeting for the first time, the person that we're following up with, right? That person that just called us back or whatever, okay? Our prospects often make a decision within just a few seconds is if we're going to give this person the time of day. Okay. Are we going to do business with this person, right? Are we even going to listen to this person? I've seen the shift in people, like automatically I'm like, oh my God, this person's not going to listen to me at all. And it's probably because I didn't show up with a high version of myself. So our prospects in the first few seconds make a decision if they're going to sit with us, if they're going to talk to us, if they're going to listen to us, right? So how we show up matters monumentally. Okay, no matter what just happened, good or bad, sale or no sale, you just sat down with the nicest person, you just sat down with an asshole. You just had to lay down, or you spent 3 hours with Captain, I got to think about it. And he just said, I got to think about it. I got to think about it. Got to think about it. Got to think about it, right? You must reset quickly and go to your next prospect and make sure you have an enthusiastic intro. Okay, no matter what just happened. You must show up with an enthusiastic introduction on the next one. You must throw that smile on the face. You must give them great eye contact. You must have great body position, right, on the next one because they deserve it. The next prospect, okay, does not know what just happened. They deserve for you to show up as the highest version of yourself. They do not deserve that you and I bring the baggage from what just happened or what's going on in our life into their situation. Okay, they deserve for us to show up as the highest version of ourselves. Be consistent with showing up in your intro as the highest version of yourself with a smile on your face and watch what happens to your business. Because consistently showing up with an amazing intro every single time, okay, this will drastically increase the number of presentations that you have. Okay, because people are making a decision right away. Hey, am I going to sit down with this person? Hey, am I going to listen to the person? Right? If you're showing up consistently with a high energy, you're showing up with a smile on your face, great positive vibrations, you're going to have more presentations. And if you have more presentations, you're going to have more sales. And when you show up like this, you're going to have less, I don't have time for this. Right? You're going to have less, oh, we're all good. We already have one of those, or whatever they say in your intro. Your objections at your introduction is going to go down tremendously if you can get this one habit in there, and that's showing up in an introduction as the highest version of yourself. Okay. So, because what happens is with all this adversity and I don't feel like smiling right now, so why am I going to smile? Well, hey, this person deserves for you to show up. And when we don't, we kind of sound like a robot. It's like, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. You get telemarketer calls right now. I know I do. Right? It's like, hello, how are you? That's not unique, right? That's not unique. That's not positive. I'm not even going to listen to this person. I don't care what they have to say. And it's because they're robotic. So kill Domi Arrogato, Misto Roboto, kill the robotic and show up as the highest version of yourself. Double down on who you are. Show some enthusiasm when you're saying hello every single time and watch what happens to the amount of objections that you get and watch what happens to the amount of presentations you get. When you get more presentations, you get more sales, period. Now, consistency is the magic habit. Consistency is the magic habit. Okay, so keep putting one foot in front of the other towards your goals and towards your dreams. And you'll look up and you'll be way further than you thought. And you'll be there way faster than you thought. Isn't it interesting? So, guys, that's all I had for today. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Keep moving forward. I believe in you. I respect you. I love you. And you can and you must keep chasing your dreams. What time is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's go time.